Right now, the Rams are living down at UC Irvine in Irvine, California. You know the Hard Knocks cameras are there, and so are ours for the Rams' first full-team training camp practice in the Los Angeles area in some 2+ decades. There's a look at Jared Goff as he gets set. He's had a couple practices under his belt now. The rookies have been out there, but first time here with the full team. What do you think's going through his head right now?
He has to be nervous. He has to be nervous going with the veterans, trying to figure out if he can step into the role as the #1 quarterback. A lot of expectations for the LA Rams. This is a team that has been talked about being a playoff contender for the last 2 years. People have said that the quarterback position is the one thing that is keeping them from it. So they go out, they expend the top pick on Jared Goff. They say that Case Keenum and he are in a competition, but whenever you have the #1 quarterback, you're expecting this guy to be the starter when it comes week one. The key for the Rams on offense, can he do enough to give your offense a decent chance of being able to score points? Because everyone knows that Todd Gurley is the guy that makes it go, but can Jared Goff add enough balance in the passing game for them to score enough points?
Well, and Steve Weish has been covering the Rams really since their return to LA and has been following, Jared Goff's progress. It says, some of the things he was struggling with early were the things you might expect from a rookie, the verbiage with the play calls, getting in and out of the huddle, command of the huddle, but also said after his second rookie camp practice that was starting to come around a little bit, and that's certainly good to see.
He's a quick study. Having seen him and watched him throughout his time at Cal, watching him in high school, as he went through the Elite 11 process. He's a smart guy. He's a player that reminds me a little of a Matt Ryan, the way he commands the game, the way he plays, his playing style. What the Atlanta Falcons were able to do with Matt Ryan, and what I think is a nice blueprint, is they were able to really set up a physical running game and surround him. At the time, they had Michael Turner. He carried the bulk of the load. They surrounded him with weapons. They had Roddy White. Eventually, you got Julio Jones. And then you saw Matt Ryan become a guy that was on the rise. For the LA Rams, they have Todd Gurley in place. They have some nice pieces on the outside. Tavon Austin isn't a true #1, but he is a playmaker. So as they build this offense around Jared Goff, they've talked about using some shotgun running game, quick rhythm passing game. They got a slew of playmakers in the draft that are guys that can run after the catch. So I'm expecting to see a really ball-controlled short passing game where Goff doesn't have to take it down the field. He gets it out of his hand, and he allows the players to do the work for him.
You mentioned some of the shotgun run game. I feel like that has Todd Gurley fans, Rams fans, maybe just a little taken aback. I mean, because we've seen, the Vikings kind of struggle with that a little bit with AD last year. Do you feel like that hinders Gurley's game at all?
It could, and you have to make a decision very early in preseason and early in the year. I will say, let's go to the quarter pole mark, meaning those first 4 games. Let's see if Todd Gurley can be effective running from the shotgun. If he's ineffective, then ultimately you have to build it around your best quarterback. And I know we always talk about the quarterback and the quarterback this and that, but their best player, without a doubt, on offense is Todd Gurley. So he has to be comfortable. He has to be a guy that is able to get about 100 rushing yards a game, because he is the one that sets the tone for that offense. So if the shotgun running game doesn't work for him, find a way to put him in the dot, find a way to put him in the I, be it pistol, conventional I formation. But you have to make sure that he is comfortable, because he's your best player.
Saw that graphic at the bottom of your screen, 9 straight losing seasons for the Rams. But there's so much excitement around this team, especially out here in LA. Now that they are officially here, it almost feels like a fresh start. But that fresh start comes littered with tons of challenges. We mentioned getting Jared Goff ready, but how about competing in an NFC West that is so top-heavy with the Seahawks and the Cardinals? You feel like they're in a position to make some hay this year?
I think they are in a position to make some hay. They're a team that has gone toe-to-toe with the Seattle Seahawks and been successful. They've also gone toe-to-toe with the Arizona Cardinals and had a formula for success. When you look at the NFC and the way most teams win the NFC, you look at the Super Bowl teams that have come out there the last 5 or 6 years, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks, the Carolina Panthers, all are built around a stellar defense, a dominant running game, and a quarterback that can make plays when he's asked to. If you look at the Rams, they have the ingredients to do it. They just haven't been able to execute it. Defense is outstanding. A lot of talent on that front line. All the #1 picks that they committed to the defensive line. Todd Gurley, we can speak about him being a guy that is one of the top 2-3 running backs in the league. It is, what can they do with Jared Goff when he becomes the quarterback? Can he manage the game well enough to keep them out of harm's way and allow their defense to make plays? If I'm going to put the big sombrero on anybody, meaning put the pressure on, I'm putting pressure on the defense. The defense has to play at a top 5 level. We can talk about them being a talented defense, but the stats haven't said that they've been one of the top 2 or 3 defenses. They need to play at a top 5 level for this team to finally crack the postseason.
Well, Aaron Donald has no problem with that. One of the best, if not the best, interior defensive linemen right now in this game. A first-round pick back in 2014 and has taken the league by storm. Pro Bowler as a rookie, 2-time Pro Bowler in his first 2 years. Is there a more exciting young interior lineman in the game right now?
No, quick, explosive. Some people may have slept on him in the draft, and a lot of us, when we looked at him, we probably graded him as a bottom of the first-round talent initially because he doesn't have the prototypical dimensions that you look for at a defensive tackle. But his first-step quickness, his snap count anticipation, his ability to turn speed into power is remarkable. We've seen in back-to-back years he's been a dominant presence on the inside. And when you look at the Rams and their front forward, Michael Brock is another first-round pick, a guy that can stop the run. Robert Quinn, when he's healthy and active, a double-digit sack artist. They have the pieces in place to be a team that can give you fits. I'm looking at the stats now. Most sacks of any team since 2012, but they have to stop the run on early downs and get after it.
Think about Aaron Donald, a great player on the field, and the Rams have to love the face that he gives their franchise to. They tweeted out a little video of him running out to camp. First full team practice, kind of ran out, and all the fans were yelling and screaming for him. He turned around, ran back to him on their way out to camp, and started signing autographs. Pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think, it's my job now, and I think myself and the rest of the 90 guys out here were doing a lot of work, and so obviously I was putting in a lot of work in the offseason and trying to get as ready as I could for today.
And what were your thoughts on your session today?
It was okay. There's stuff that you always want to work on, and I felt good about a lot of plays, and there's some plays you want back, and I think that'll be the way it is kind of for a long time, and for probably, the majority of everyone's career. You go into practice, and it's not always the way you want it. I think in college, I'd go into practice and try to be 100% every day, and you'd probably never do it, but you're always just striving to be really good. And so, yeah, I'm always trying to improve, but at the same time, there's stuff today I'd like to have back, but get it back tomorrow and the next day and for the next, hopefully, 10, 12 years,
Coach said he had to calm you guys down because he thought that the whole team may have been a little too amped up considering the atmosphere.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people out here, music was bumping, and, people were excited.
Butterflies for you? It is your first training camp?
A little bit, yeah, absolutely. I think, your first training camp practice, similar to my first rookie mini camp practice and my first OTA practice, and now into training camp, and we're starting the actual football season now. It's the same kind of feeling. You go out there and you kind of get the jitters out and get comfortable.
But how was this different than OTAs? And did you feel like you've got this now?
I definitely feel 10 times more comfortable. Very much more comfortable with everything that we do and everything that just as far as daily stuff. Just very, very comfortable, and on the field, much more comfortable. But yeah, I'm excited. Ready to go.
Jared, when you heard that you got a preseason game in 2 weeks, is that gulp or is that right on?
I think that's kind of what he was alluding to, the difference between OTAs and now. It's we got to play pretty soon, and it's exciting. I think everyone's excited for it. It'll be our first game in the Coliseum and playing the Cowboys, and it's going to be an exciting game, and it'll be fun and good experience for everyone.
As you were walking onto the field, I couldn't help but think when you're walking on a cow, and just the difference of this atmosphere, this feeling for a rookie quarterback. How would you describe that?
Walking on the field was cool. Seeing a lot of people out here. People yelling and screaming. It's awesome to be back in LA and have what looks like to be a pretty big fan base that we have, and for them to be all out here. I don't know what the number was. I'm sure it was a lot. It's really exciting, and really exciting for not only myself but the whole team and the whole city.
I know when you were in the Oxnard, you said you had a little bit of difficulty with the book, the playbook. It's like Spanish to you. How have you made the adjustments? Learning the book, learning the language, and everything.
Just continuing every day to get better, and continue every day to look over it and say it over to myself, do the mental visualization in my head, and continue to get as many reps off the field as I can and on my own.
Is that the number one thing you want to get out of camp, just a grasp of the playbook?
No, I think I've got a pretty good grasp of it at this point. I've got a pretty good understanding of it, and there's still obviously a lot of stuff I'm working on every day, but I think I just want to get comfortable and get excited, get ready to go, and get ready to play, and get ready to hopefully help this team as best I can.
You know, part of it is a team bonding, or are you getting to know your teammates a
Oh yeah,
little bit?
oh yeah. No, we're a very close team, and they've all been really awesome with me and really cool, and I've enjoyed getting to know them, and can't say enough about our quarterback room, what they've done, and how awesome they've been so far, and the relationship I have with them is awesome.
Can you expand a little bit on that with Keenum? Because we've asked him about how he's kind of handling this, and from your perspective.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect coming in, and it's been far and away more than I could have ever expected from somebody like him. The way he's helped me and treated me and brought me in and kind of helped me with anything. I got a question, I go to him. He's going to help me. He'll ask me little things to keep me on my toes, just stuff like that. He's been really good and really helpful, and one of the best teammates I think I've ever had.